think maybe we need to.
Hello.
Hello.
How are we?
Yeah, good.
Is it just me or sound really low? But I got him really low on purpose.
No, Sam sounds normal. You're pretty quiet.
There you go.
I can hear it now.
Oh my golly, pictures and everything.
Bum, 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 bum.
Hmm.
How is everybody's week going?
Mine's going okay. Amber tested positive for corona this morning.
Oh
So,
no, the
Yeah.
avoidance is up then.
Yeah, so the avoid. Well, I'm still standing strong at the moment, but yeah. So she's only got a sore throat. She seemed fine apart from that.
Oh,
But,
that's good.
so we just we've set up a desk up in the top room for her, and she was working up there today, and she's, I assume, staying in her room is the plan.
I assume.
But yeah, no. So I'm just currently debating with my colleagues as to whether I'm going to go and play Jaws of the Lion tomorrow night.
All right.
And the current consensus is that the household we're going to has just had COVID, and that the other players have all had COVID. So none of them are particularly concerned. So as long as I test negative, then I will go. But
Nice.
yeah, no, good. I was just showing that I'm really chuffed with those figures.
Yeah, I thought
I
that was
did.
really good.
They've come out pretty well.
I can see what you mean. Like the facial sculpt is not great on the.
It's absolutely awful. But if you look at any of them painted online, it's exactly the same.
Oh really?
And I'm not even going to attempt to paint eyes or anything. Certainly not at the moment.
I tried eyes a few times. I never found anything I was happy with, so I just don't bother. Yeah.
I just rely on the shading. And her dress is too blue. It was supposed to be much lighter, and then maybe do some highlights, but that's fine. And I've noticed her shoulders at the top of her dress is green, where the yellow from her hair has mixed with the blue of her dress. So that's not great, but that's oh fuck it, that'll do. But no, I'm quite pleased with them, and that's why I want to go tomorrow, because I haven't told them that I've painted the figures, so I'm hoping they'll be
nice.
Suitably impressed. And I actually said to Sandra last night, it's like, I think I've finished. I kind of thinking I've got no other figures to paint, and it's like, I don't know what to do now. And then I backed the guys that do Nemesis produced a game called Knockdown, which is a little two-person fighting game. It's supposed to be. It's kind of like the old Mortal Kombat type fighting computer games, and it's like that. And they produced one of the packs was for Nemesis, was using Nemesis figures. So it's pretty cheap. So I backed it, and it turned up today, and it came. Oh, I've got my camera on. It came with a load of figures. So
nice.
I've now got a little. I've got like 6 of them that I could do. So that's a thing to do. But we'll see. I don't know.
Greetings, Mr. Cormac.
Hi.
You right?
What?
I said, are you all right?
Yeah.
Good.
Excellent. So am I right in saying that you guys are busy Sunday?
Somewhat up in the air. I will get a definitive answer.
Cool.
Normally we've always done like a big
if you're doing that,
thing,
I think it's.
But Libby's kind of working this weekend anyway, and I think there was a bit of debate about what's going to happen. I will get a definitive answer and let everyone
know. I can come over.
Okay.
But then, I don't want to force people into doing stuff.
No. Let me.
It is afterwards Sunday.
I'll get a full answer.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you, Mr. Jake?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
Good. Don't take it personally, but I'm going to get a drink now you're here.
Well, that's fair.
I'm gonna go and get a drink now.
Nice.
I've I've got a drink.
Goodbye.
So we're all switching over to Pathfinder today then. Abandoning.
Something like that, right?
Yeah. That's. I haven't even looked at Pathfinder's D&D 3.5 mutated. Is that right?
Yeah, it was. Well, it originally the first edition of Pathfinder came from 3.5,
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
And now, yeah, it's back again.
Mm.
Second edition.
Well, I look forward to.
Also back, by the way.
Hello, back.
No, he's also back. So you say hello,
Okay.
also back.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, hi back and back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Charlie seems to be a little bit late, doesn't he, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. He said he was going to be a little bit late.
That's cool. All right. I think Cormac's grabbing himself a drink and stuff, and then we'll have a look, and maybe we'll start, or maybe we'll wait a few minutes. Who knows?
Oh, that's
no
Charlie.
need. No need.
Hey, thanks.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, not too...
How you feeling?
Yeah, fine. I just have one blocked nostril. That's basically it.
That is not too bad then.
Most mildest of mild symptoms. No.
When did you test positive?
Yesterday, I think, but I've been feeling sick for a couple of days before then.
Mm.
I knew I was almost certainly had it, but I just didn't bother testing
That's fair.
because I knew I had it. The test was pointless.
Mm. Is it going to change your plans for coming over to the island?
I don't think so because first off, my mother is very keen on it not changing the plan. She would be very upset if it did. And also, I feel like I was probably worse yesterday, maybe. But like, I'm really not very ill, so like, I wouldn't be surprised if even I test clear before I even come down. If not on Friday.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, if it was up to me, I probably would reconsider coming down. But I've had several stern phone calls from my mother, basically saying that you're not to cancel.
Yes, I can totally imagine.
Must be nice to feel wanted.
Mm.
What? What have I get? What?
It's their 30th wedding anniversary.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Well, my parents, they're still together, luckily. Well, it was actually on Monday, but they are having a dinner, so that's the reason I'm coming down. In fact, they actually paid for me to come down because they really wanted me to come to the dinner, so can't really cancel it.
Mm. Oh.
Well, rather, it's not my choice.
Yeah. Well, they're thinking that's the last time they need to do that because soon you'll be earning the big IT bucks somewhere.
That's unlikely.
Oh.
Unfortunately, this job I didn't want to take, I've had to basically accept it because I haven't had anything better yet.
Oh, well.
Yeah, but I'm still looking for jobs, so
Yeah.
I've accepted it, and I'm kind of purposely dragging my heels on getting the paperwork done for them, in the hope that one of the other avenues comes back with yeah, we'll give you a job.
Was this the defence adjacent having a relocate job?
Bristol.
Yeah.
Did you manage to get them to offer you anything to relocate or anything like that?
No, so I'm not. No, but they basically said that it's weird. Like it's all a bit crap. They're like, oh yeah, we're flexible. We want to support people for like remote work, like hybrid working and stuff. And so they're kind of saying that it's okay to carry on working remotely at least for like quite a while until I like for it since I was there for a couple of years or something. But they also won't say that that's definitely okay. And they definitely won't say it's definitely not okay. And it's like, well, is it okay or not? I don't know. We've been car hunting these last couple of days on the assumption that we are going to have we are going to need a second car. So
Do you have a license, Charlie?
yeah,
You do.
yeah. I didn't have a license for years, but I do now. I had a motorcycle license, not beforehand. But yeah, so we've been spending ages car hunting, which has been a pain. But that's yeah. But anyway, yes. So hopefully hopefully I won't have to join that job, but at least I have the job. You know, that's kind of where I came to the conclusion.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll find something better.
Cool. So last session. Excuse me. You decided to head back to where you had, following the Famir tribe sort of leaving, you decided to take a short rest and then head back to the forest clearing where you'd left the bodies behind of the shadow fae you'd encountered. On the way there, you encountered a human who said that he was running from a group of 6 or 7 shadow fae. Whilst trying to get some further information from him, he sort of began with this hacking cough, which brought up these 3 sort of globules of some kind of phlegm, tarry substance, which sort of morphed into 3. I don't know how to describe them. Monsters, essentially. You fought some monsters. Following taking care of those, Z slit the throat of the this gentleman who was in some way afflicted. Before you carried on, when you reached the clearing where you'd been previously, you saw 7 figures. Very dark by this point. It was very, very late evening. But they sort of matched the sort of the same sort of characteristics of the shadow fae you'd encountered. In particular, three of them with this same that sort of muscular husk sort of type you'd seen, and you decided that was something you wanted no part of. So you hid back into the forest for a while. Before sort of coming back the following morning, sort of made camp. When you returned, there were no shadow fae remaining, but there was the familiar figure, this elderly woman you've encountered a number of times inside of the forest, who, as far as you're aware, appears to be a god, or a goddess, I suppose, would be a more accurate way to put that. There was some conversation about the various things that have happened to you in your time in the forest, as well as some information on the nature of the forest itself and of Durende, name you've heard sort of thrown around a little bit. Durende is some kind of primordial force, older than the new gods, older than even the old gods, from some other plane of existence. And the idea seems to be that Durende is some kind of primordial force that maybe is responsible for magic being on this plane. Conversation sort of turned to the voices in heads of various members of the party. And to Z's book, this spell book as well. She didn't recognize the book, but she was certainly not keen on it either. Did not like it. After a little bit more conversation, there was some repeated requests for Z to give the book to her. Essentially, something which Z was not keen to do. Sort of looked around the rest of the party for some kind of aid or guidance. Nothing was particularly forthcoming, but nobody certainly was keen on handing the book over, it seemed. And following some repeated requests, eventually there was a flash of light, and you found yourselves in pear trees on the edge of the forest. But the forest now was protected or blocked off. These really thick, heavy roots and vines and thorns just sort of grown up all around the forest, almost like just preventing entry entirely. Maybe not a bad situation for those of you that are not keen on getting lost in the forest for a third time. The decision was made to return to Griffinstill. Upon your arrival in the evening, you've grabbed a copy of the record from a local vendor, and there was a front page article talking about the loss of one of their own from the record, and a story that one of their journalists, Nate Corney, had been found dead in their home 2 days ago. Enler very quickly left and disappeared. Warforged and Elwyn headed over to the Golden Crucible blacksmith, which was still operational even this late in the evening. Warforged was able to return the hand axe he had borrowed from there previously, and to gain in return a rapier, which had been sort of forged from the same metal which was in his own hand axe he had previously. This metal was very strange, something which had no familiarity with, seemed very odd. And that was pretty much where we left things. So we are... did I post the link for the journal notes? I did, didn't I? That's cool. Splendid. Yes, so we are going to have 3 days of downtime. Everybody's got. I did send... everybody sent me requests of what they want to do. Some secretly, exciting. Some not so secretly, so that's cool. I guess if we'll so what to avoid the last time we had any kind of like party splitting or downtime and people having to sit around for 90 minutes, we'll kind of montage through everyone's activities over that time, and we can sort of go from there and bring everyone back together hopefully sometime before the end of the session. Cool. So yeah, there are 3 days worth of downtime. Warforged, I believe you were keen on just returning to the record to work, correct?
Yeah.
What? You are the dream employee. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so yeah, Warforged is gonna go straight back to warehouse duties at the record. It seems. Back to manual labour. It's very good of you, Warforged. Leokin is unwell. That's fine. I will deal with that.
I unwell.
Absolutely terrible.
I know.
Z, how are you
Hola.
planning to spend your downtime?
I am sitting in my apartment and I am copying out. Well, I'm going to go buy a relatively on the fancy side notebook first, to use as a new spell book. And then I'm going to spend 10 hours each day of the 3 days copying out every single one of my spells that I currently know into that spell book.
What lot of hours?
It's 100 gold per day, 'cause it's 10 gold per hour.
Yeah.
I don't know if you need me to do any checks or anything to do so.
No, copying over is fine. Copying from one spellbook to another is not a problem.
I will mark off 30 platinum. And any spare time I have, I am going to try and study through the book. See if anything specifically focusing around that page that's shown stuff on it randomly. But looking as well any other places, see with the time I've got if I can understand any more about the story going on in there.
Yeah, it's cool. So yeah, you you sort of take yourself off to bed and to rest upon arriving back in Griffinstill. So following day, you're able to pick up your notebook. That's not a problem. This new book, you sort of get to work copying over your the information you have. And yeah, it's relatively laborious. It's not particularly exciting. It's 3 long days of work. You as you sort of go through, start doing it. It's not a problem. 4 or 5 hours into the first day, as you're sort of copying over some of these spells that you've learnt previously, you begin to notice more words have appeared on one of the pages that you're copying over. You notice your name is written again, the same as this previous page that you'd come across, but this time there's just the word "stop" written beneath it.
I ain't listening to that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Carry on copying out.
Yeah, you carry on, and you start noticing every time you turn to going through pages is fine, but anytime you go to any of the pages or any of the spells you're familiar with so far, each time that same note is there, but it seems to get the writing almost gets a little more almost like a little more frantic, a little more sort of almost if it's trying to get your attention. Just that same word every time, just Zirviel, stop. As you're sort of tiring at the end of the first day and really sort of just getting to the end of what you can do before you have to sort of give up and lose your focus, the next page you turn to has the same thing again. It's Zirviel, but there's a different note this time. This time it just reads, "I can make you powerful."
Ooh, okay. I will probably. I mean, I'm stopping for the night at this point anyway, so this is me done for the night, right? So I guess as I fall asleep, I will be pondering on that and maybe have a little think about it, but I'm probably not wanting whatever this thing's offering at the moment.
That's cool. Okay, that's cool. I will come back to you shortly, I guess, for your second day of stuff, in case anyone else does interrupt in any way.
I hope not.
Eleanor, I believe you intended to turn in your most recent article, a travel piece.
Yeah, ignore that for now. That'll happen later on, I think. So the first thing I do is do some secret stuff. But the only thing that's important is that I'm going to go and withdraw 5,000, which is what's that in 50? Is it 500 platinum?
500 platinum,
yeah. Yeah, 5,000 from my. Is it how much have I got in the thing at home?
10,000.
For some reason I thought it was 100,000. I'll still grab 5,000. No, I won't. I'll grab 2,500, so a quarter of it.
Okay.
Out of there, and then do some things. Which I'm going to message you exactly which things I do on the first day. But I wanted to actually go and see Z at some point because I did offer to pay for some of the materials costs. So perhaps that ends up happening towards the end of the day.
I did just double check. It was 10,000. Yeah.
It's 10,000. Yeah, that's fine. So I've got 7,500 left in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to go see Z towards it, sort of the end of the day. Maybe after all this has happened, just to sort of offer to pay, and maybe offer to help. Not that I'm actually a wizard, but like whatever, I can try to help. With the copying.
Yeah, I mean, I'd certainly, I'm all right payment wise. You're welcome to sit there and help me transcribe out notes for an hour or so. But yeah, cost wise, I've got it covered. But I think it very much appreciates the thought.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll help you copy out some stuff.
This could be interesting.
Um,
Cool. Okie dokie. Elwin, what were your plans? You were going to get hard to work, weren't you?
Yeah, I'm working in a blacksmith.
Nice. Crafting anything in particular, or are you just doing some general work there? You can earn some money by just doing general work, or if you've got something in particular you want to, because I believe you've got a bunch of different things you can potentially
Let's
craft.
see what I can craft. I was gonna learn how to make arrows on the fly with all the equipment.
Yeah.
But I was gonna make stuff with all the different bits I've got. Can't
That's
remember what
cool.
they are now.
No,
But
that's cool. So you have got some of the stuff you've got is quite easy to craft. Some of it not so much. So let me go through quick. So I did take some notes and all of this. So you've got the Claw of a Green Dragon, which can be turned into a dagger, which does additional poison damage. That will take that. There is some crafting cost involved. That's 150 gold pieces, and it will take you like 9 days of labor.
Okay.
You've also got the Green Dragon Fang, which does something similar, but for a short sword. You've got the Green Dragon Hide, which you can use to craft some armor, but that costs 2,000 gold pieces and far more than the 3 days you have spare. That's actually 60 days of work, that. It's quite an ornate piece. The things you have that you can do stuff with immediately, though. You have 5 Green Dragon Teeth. Each of those can be used to make an arrow or crossbow bolt. Any attack made using those does an additional 1d6 poison damage, but they are each single use. But they can all be converted across quite easily during this time. So that's if you wish.
I will do that. How much is that?
There's no cost for those. That would just be the time involved in it. You've got all the pieces for it. Basically, it's really just crafting the teeth themselves into arrowheads.
That's what I'll be learning from the person that's
cool.
working there.
And then you've also got a bunch of Hydra teeth, which you can do the same with as well.
Yeah, I'll just make loads of arrows.
Yeah, that's cool. You're just going to make yourself
Don't
useful
worry
at the
about-
Golden Crucible.
Yeah, and then I'll make myself useful with anything else. And then
Yeah.
maybe I'll try and learn to do the other stuff while I'm there with her. Like show the stiff, maybe if she helps make them maybe a bit quicker. 2 hands are quicker than one
Indeed.
For the later future.
Indeed. Okay. Carl.
Mm-hmm. Well, so the first day is pretty much going to be taken up with sleeping and feeling pretty shit, I suspect, after decompressing from the excitement that we talked about.
Indeed.
Then I think the next thing to do. I think really, yeah, the rest of that day I'm just going to spend avoiding Wenda because I really don't want to talk to her, and just generally chilling out. There's nothing I want to do. Just recover, think a little bit, sober up, then maybe go out drinking again. And then the second day, I'm going to go and see if I can find Withers anywhere.
Yeah, that's cool. Okie dokie. In that case, we'll skip through to Friday. Everyone's favourite day of the week. Okay, yeah.
Sorry, I'm staying in the accommodation that the record gave us.
Oh, yeah,
Is anyone
yeah.
else staying there?
I'll be staying there as well, probably.
Not me.
That's what I thought. What about you, Z? He's
I'm just in my apartment.
cool.
Nice. Warforged, the same, I assume. Sit watching paint dry, not sleeping properly.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, pretty much.
That's cool. Okay. Following morning, Z, your plan is just carry on the same, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Crack on again.
Not put off. That's fine. That's cool.
Not massively put off. No, I want these spells copied out, so
That's cool.
I will.
Okay.
I will keep an eye on the messages in case they change, and I might, if it carries on saying stop, 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 I might frustratedly call out why a couple of times, but I'm
cool.
not expecting an answer.
No worries.
You did you share this with me when I came to help you out?
Yeah, sure. You would have
I
probably seen it.
I definitely told you to carry on because they want you to stop for a reason which is beneficial to
Yeah.
them and not necessary for you.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Friday morning then. Carl, you're able to sort of head around town a little. Start trying to put some feelers out for Withers. A man of no fixed place of business. Kind of wherever the need for his particular expertise is required, he tends to make himself known. Takes the best part of the morning to get a bit of a lead in him. You are eventually able to track him down to a tavern, sort of near the docks in sort of the more working area of the town.
Okay.
Yeah, as you enter the tavern, Withers actually recognises you as you come in quite quickly. Sort of calls you over. Sounds like Withers himself has probably already been drinking himself this morning and is
I liked him.
rather merry, rather jolly. Very keen to see you as he calls you over and asks how you are.
I'll sit down with. I'm okay. I'm growing, learning, maybe. I don't know.
He tells you that word around town is that you've been looking for him. He's kind of curious as to what somebody of your current standing would be wanting with him.
My current stand. I don't think I've got a current standing anymore. I was just. I really. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting soft. I've got a friend who's getting. I don't know. Might be getting involved in stuff that I'm not sure. I'm not sure they should be. But I know for sure they're the kind of person that if you tell them not to, they're going to do it more. And if they're going to start or continue dabbling in that sort of stuff, then they're going to need to know someone who can sort of help them out, components and that sort of thing. And honestly, I'd rather they didn't, but if they're going to, I want it to be someone that well, trust is a strong word. Someone, I think we've got an understanding. I don't think you're a bad guy.
As the sort of nature of your request comes a little bit more clear, you can see the sort of there's like the surprise across his sort of face, like this is clearly quite not what he's expecting from you. But he also seems kind of amused by the fact that you would reach out to him with this sort of request in particular. And yeah, he sort of he mentions that he could extend his services. He could certainly acquire anything which your friend may also need to acquire and pass that on for the right kind of trading price.
So would he does he want to meet the friend? Is that should I just make the introduction, or do you want to keep a bit separate?
No, he seems pretty keen on that. Assuming this friend of yours can be trusted, you're willing to vouch for them.
Yeah. Yeah, weirdly. Yeah. Yeah, weirdly I do. I don't know. As I say, maybe I'm just getting a bit old, a bit soft. But yeah. I think his heart's in the right place.
Okay.
And so I'll arrange to meet up maybe later on today somewhere.
Yeah, Withers tells you that he has some other contacts to meet with this afternoon, but sort of late evening, he could certainly agree to meet you back here in the same
That
tavern.
would be perfect. Could you perhaps locate some? What was it he was talking about? I think he's after some paper, maybe some ink,
Okay.
something.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
see.
He can definitely get you some the highest class sort of spell book type materials. I'm sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
Z, as you carry on sort of copying over your spell book throughout the day, again you just keep seeing it starts off as that same message again. I can make you powerful, and quite similar to the day before. As you sort of press on through the day, the same message keeps appearing on each page that you go to. Again, become a bit more forceful at times, almost sort of impeding your work. The text actually starts sort of appearing over some of the areas you're looking to copy down, but you know these spells well enough at this point that you're able to still sort of get them down. But it certainly makes the job harder, a little slower you'd like. It certainly becomes quite a frustration. Almost becomes a bit of a game of a bit of a game or a challenge almost, as it seems to be sort of just testing you and trying to make this difficult for you.
I probably just kind of frustratedly about 4 hours in, 4 hours of this kind of going on, and I'm just like, right, what do you want? I just like look up and it's like, what do you want? What do you want from me? What's the problem? Because you're not being very clear and it's not being very helpful. Just stare at the page.
The page does nothing. The page doesn't change. You can sit and wait there for a few minutes. Nothing sort of changes. You go back to scribbling notes, copying stuff again. As you come to the next page this time, it's just that same message again. Just, I can make you powerful, but this time just quite forcefully underlined.
Okay, but I get that. But what do you get out of it? And I carry on.
Yeah, that's cool.
And come to the next page and see if there's something new or not. But
you as you turn to the next page this time, there's just the word freedom.
From what? I'm back to scribbling again. Shh.
Yeah, again, you sort of turn the page, and this time just bold face, bit larger, freedom.
Freedom from freedom. What if you're not supposed to be free, I guess, is the question. Oh well, I'll carry on.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm set in for the day. I'll get my 10 hours done if I can.
No worries. Eleanor, I assume you are taking care of some of your other private downtime activities during this day.
Yeah, and that how long that takes, you can tell me. By the time I do that, and then basically once I'm done with that, I will come back to Z, bringing I guess some dinner, some I don't know, whatever the equivalent of takeaway is in Austria, and offer to help, but mainly I'm there to make sure they're okay.
Yeah.
And they haven't gone mad. I don't know if you want to talk about anything in particular, Z. Sorry, pardon me. I don't know if you have any sort of particular
I'm
things.
Z is very curious about the origins of your magic. And will probably ask about, one, how you got yours, and two, probably about Dwarf, where you're from, and what it's like being somewhere so open with magic. And
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a bizarre question to ask me how I got my magic. It's almost like saying, how did someone get their sight? You know, for me, it's just everyone knows a bit of magic in dwarf.
Okay.
And my dad, well, yeah, he knows some magic, and so he taught me a few bits and pieces, and I sort of always fancied it since then. You know, I realize I'm not necessarily the smartest, and I never had necessarily. Life always seems to get in the way of dedicating study to magic, but it's fun to learn tricks and bits and pieces here and there.
Oh, fair enough.
Sort of pick it up, you know.
Yes, it's a bit different to, I suppose, what's good. Yeah. No evil book telling you what to do, I guess.
No, not at all. When everybody around you knows a bit here and there, then you end up, oh, can you teach me that? Can you show me this?
Yeah.
You know, you sort of end up picking it up, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to describe, really.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense. You pick up what's around you, don't you? Like.
Yeah, it's just hard to describe because, as I say, it's almost like asking you how you learned, who gave you your sense of morals or sense of anything, really. It's just all around me from where I grew up.
Understandable. One other question that I've been meaning to ask, and we haven't really had any time where it's just me and you around, so I haven't been able to ask. Why do I keep getting a magic glow from your eye patch?
You shouldn't get one from my eye patch.
Or from something behind your eye patch?
Shouldn't be getting something from my eye patch.
No?
Wrong eye.
Is it the other eye?
Yeah.
Okay, why do I get something from that eye then? Sorry, I've misremembered that.
I will. That is a long story.
Shark attack, was it?
Yeah, shark attack. I think. Yeah. Or it was a tiger shark attack.
Right.
A tiger riding a shark.
Yeah.
That's a long story. However, I have a sneaking suspicion that I will be telling everybody else how I actually lost my eye rather shortly, given some recent developments. And so I wouldn't want to.
You can save it if you want. You can
I wouldn't want to tell you the story twice.
No, understandable. I was just curious what it did, whether it was special or not.
It's handy. It lets me see.
I mean, I assumed as much, but
Not very interesting. Not very. I don't get any mad sight, but yes, I do.
Fair enough. Well, I'll leave that for another day.
I lost my eyesight.
Yeah.
Put it that way. And, I only have one magic eye.
Fair enough.
That's most of the truth.
I'm not pushing. I'm not trying to see if you're telling the truth or not. I'm just accepting it. So.
Yeah, but I will tell you later.
Sounds good.
Probably when we meet up.
Only if you want to.
No, I've got a feeling the truth is gonna come out very soon. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
How have the messages been today?
They're different. It whatever it is wants freedom. It gets freedom. I get power. Apparently,
it wants freedom.
It's very keen on the fact.
I don't know much about things which offer bargains of power, but I've always heard they're supposed to be bad.
Well, I was figuring if it was locked up, it was probably locked up for a reason. I probably shouldn't give it freedom, but power.
Yeah, in some ways,
I think a lesser mind would be tempted.
I think so. In some ways, you could consider the fact that you are able to keep this mighty being at bay. It's pretty powerful.
Yeah, I suppose so.
It might not be the power you want, but it's the power you've got.
And real power was deep inside all along.
This is just unfortunately compounding the thought process I've had of I don't want to give this book to anyone.
I don't think you should give it to anybody
Not
either.
because I want it to do anything sinister with, but just because I'm not sure I trust anyone else to not do anything sinister.
I think you should chuck it into the Fires of Mount Doom or whatever the nearest.
But what if that causes it to have freedom?
That's true.
That's the thing. Currently, me holding on to it, it does not have freedom.
You know where I put things that I don't want anyone else to get hold of? Underneath my bed, under a floorboard.
That's a good idea, actually.
It's
I
where
wonder if it.
currently have several thousand £7,000, several thousand gold.
That's. I'm a little nervous to leave it anywhere.
I think we should, as a brain trust, get together maybe someone else and find somewhere which is really secure that nobody's gonna find.
We could make like a tomb and seal it in a crypt with like traps around it. Okay, that might be a bit too far, but that would be cool.
We could do that. And then we'd have to have a separate campaign where we are the adventurers going through the tomb to get the book.
Amazing.
How about an underground cavern in a forest which constantly moves?
Huh.
That would be a good place to leave it.
Yeah, but they didn't like it being in the forest.
Yeah, that's true. What about, I hear that these sorts of items, bags and what have you, which you can put lots of things in. They do funny things when you put bags inside of bags. Never seen it myself, but maybe we could do something like that. And
There was a theory I was reading about with this, of like you put a pocket universe inside a pocket universe and it implodes and destroys the world.
the world. I thought it just destroyed the things inside the pocket.
Oh
universe.
no, it ends badly.
Oh, does it?
It kind of tears dimensions and stuff
See,
from what's thought anyway.
This is the kind of thing you hear in the school playground when I was growing up. That someone's brother's sister, someone's cousin's uncle did it. And,
Well, I read a paper from that I'd managed to scrounge up before from an old library, and it was it was talking about combining two planes as a form of weaponry to just like blow people up. It was interesting, but I think a bit dangerous.
Yeah, let's not do that then.
Not sure we should be really poking at threads of reality. That feels like tempting fate.
Yeah, but maybe we could find some way of, I don't know. Then again, if you just put it to a different plane, who knows?
Someone in that plane's going to get it right.
Who knows what lurks? Oh yeah.
You almost need your own little demi plane for it. Just hide it in there, tuck it away.
Yeah, maybe we can find a way of doing something with this security. I mean, you're a wizard, so I'm sure there's spells that you can eventually learn.
So you see Z just like stopping, just sit there, just like completely sat still, clearly in like thought for a second, like they've just come up with an idea. Starts like scribbling down a little bit of notes on a piece of paper. He's like, I had an idea. I might need to see if I can find some people, but
go.
I had an idea.
The trouble is, I look around the apartment we're currently in and point and say, it's so much more difficult to get hold of magical knowledge around here.
Agreed. But I've had an idea.
What's your idea?
For a spell. Well, there was something I was reading on one of these pages, and I flicked through to part of it, and it was talking about mini dimensions almost, for putting things in. Then you could make like magical arcane chests almost that were like little storage, like drop-off lockers. So you pop something in, and then when you want it back, it reappears, and you can take it back out again. If I could learn how to do that, then we could pop the book in there and not have to worry about it.
Yeah. And then
I'm the only one that can summon it.
You've only got a small thing to carry around with you.
Well, it's literally it's a spell. You just bam, and the chest appears.
Oh, okay. I assume you needed some sort of like I thought it was like a bag. You had to put something in the bag.
No. It's a magical apparating lockbox. It's like its own little mini demi plane. It was something I read a part of in the book.
That
I might look into that.
fabulous.
As it sort of gets around this sort of early evening time at this point, Elwyn and Warforged are both back in their sort of return to this sort of shared apartments, shared dormitories that the record have provided you. Carl also arrives around this time, seemingly looking for Z.
Well, he can't find me.
Yeah, so is that a? I wasn't sure who that was a prompt for. So this is at the where we stay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
For what it's worth, that is not where I am.
No, I checked that earlier.
Oh, you're not. Sorry, I thought you were.
We said at the beginning, I had a dingy student flat style apartment in there.
I assume because sorry, that's cool. Because
it's all good.
I assumed you were like there. That's fine. Okay, that's cool.
Everyone knows where that is. Like I've told everyone where my flat is, but I didn't. I have somewhere away from the record specifically so that I can sit there and sneakily read magic books and not risk getting caught.
Fine. Well, that's where Carl finds you in that case.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave around 10:30. So if this happens before 10:30, then
Probably
I'm still there. If not,
probably is before then. So yeah,
I'm still there.
So at some point, you're chatting away about tigers and stuff, and there's a knock on the door.
Eleanor watches as Z very deftly folds up the books, all the paper, all the inks into one big cloth and just shoves it under his bed.
Yeah.
And then goes over and answers the door.
I panic, like eyes wide and like freeze when the door goes off because I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna get caught. And like before I've even realised what's going on, you managed to get it under the bed.
Yeah, it's
like,
all gone.
Yeah.
I've been working on top of like a blanket where I could just fold everything in and just slide it away.
And I'm like sat on the bed or on the chair or whatever, looking like very casual on
very
purpose.
act natural.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Carl.
Oh, coming in.
That is relaxed.
I unlock the door and let you in. All right.
Right. Yeah, I'm good.
Do you want tea?
Hello, Eleanor. I wasn't expecting to see you.
Do you want some chow mein? I don't know. Give me a Australian takeaway food.
It's Chinese.
Stewed snake.
Stewed snake.
Yeah. I will immediately go. Oh yeah, and then as soon as you go stewed snake, no.
It's really quite good.
No, it's something decently Australian is what we want.
That's what it is, right? Sorry, that's what I said.
More carbohydrates.
Oh, there's some. Do you want some mashed yams?
That sort of thing. Although,
yeah, I offer you a plate of mashed yams.
Z.
Yes.
Get your coat. We're going out.
Oh, where are we going?
You'll find out. I've got someone for you to meet.
Can I just look Carl up and down, make sure he doesn't look too murdery?
He's. I am not carrying sword. Not carrying a shield at all. I have got a club. I've got pretty much the rest of. Doesn't much look like I've changed. You're not entirely sure that I've actually taken the chain shirt off. What I have got are some nice bruises.
Ooh, okay.
That were probably fresher than the nice bruises I had from the previous week. But no, yeah, come on. Eleanor, you going to come?
I shoot the look to sort of see how they're feeling.
Yeah, you can come with you want.
Get a move on. We've only got
an adventure, won't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I definitely want to go. It's whether you're happy going.
I'm gonna throw a guess. Carl, are we going to a pub?
Yes.
Perfect. I'm in. Let's go. It's fine by me.
So usher you out of the building, commenting on how nice it is to live in an area like this. You must particularly enjoy the smell.
It is pretty dingy. It's not the nicest.
And then, yeah, so gonna introduce you to someone.
Oh, okay. New friends.
No,
Oh,
no. It's someone who an old acquaintance, ran into in a professional manner, I would say, over the years, but he's trustworthy as far as people with very questionable morals can be. If he gives you his word and some money's exchanged, then he will do what he says, and he's discreet. I just have a feeling that you might have something. You might have some business that you could probably do with him. He's got contacts. I would say he's a merchant who specializes in the kind of shit that you need to do the kind of stuff you do.
you mean he does the old sham sham shaboom kind of stuff?
I don't. Yeah, he doesn't, but he sells you stuff that you need for that.
Oh, okay.
If you walk into a store in Austria and ask for, I was going to say licorice, but actually you can buy licorice.
I was going to say that was quite an easy one to get.
That's
But
literally the only component I can think of. But if you want
crystals and
if you want to get some crystals or some powder or newt's feet, you start to draw attention to yourself.
Draw attention, yeah.
So
there's going to be questions in there.
This guy Withers can set you up without, as long as you're polite, as long as you don't fuck him around, because God, forgive me, I vouched for you.
Yeah.
So
well, it's nice to know you vouched for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you arrive at the tavern. You can see Withers sat not remotely suspiciously in the very corner table of this tavern, trying to stay slinking into the shadows very subtly. And as you sort of cross the tavern and head over to him, you actually see he almost does a bit of a double take, and you see him sort of almost sort of a little bit of whatever he's drinking goes down the wrong way as you sort of approach. He's like, "Your friends, Carl Garbin is friends with an elf and a friend of elves. These two."
As I said, I don't know about friends, acquaintances.
Buds.
They're okay.
You never fail to surprise Garbin, I'll give you that.
Well, live and learn. Live and learn.
He sort of gestures for you all to sit down around this sort of table in the corner of the tavern.
Withers, Zerviel, Withers, Eleanor, and yeah, I'll
And he sort of looks around at both of you and nice to meet you. Nice to meet all of you, I suppose. So,
Can I do a sleight of hand thing?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I do if I succeed.
Sure.
I'll tell everybody what I do if I fail.
That seems good.
I'll message you.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, and he looks at you, Carl, and he says, so which of these two is the friend needing the help?
That would be the half shadow fae.
I see. So, what sort of goods would you be looking for?
At which point Carl goes, I really don't want to hear this. So I get up. Another round,
I'll have an ale if you're going.
and then I'll go over to the bar and let them carry on.
So you be needing some components, goods.
Well, I suppose the question bodes of what's on the table and what's not that you could acquire. I'm at the moment mostly in need of some high quality ink for specific reasons. I'm sure you're aware. I've got a bit of a heavy load of work ahead of me, so I need a little bit of this fancy stuff. But
It's
I'm always in the mood to be surprised by exciting things in this realm as well.
as am I. It seems this is not what I expected at all.
Carl's at the bar right now, right?
Yeah.
I want to whisper to Withers as he's got that. Carl can't know that I know you, and I'm gonna slip him a gold piece.
Sure. Withers quite quickly you see him sort of grab out, he pulls it over, places it into sort of pouch on the side of his belt. And he sort of he winks back at you and says, "Pleasure to meet you, whoever you may be." So friend of Carl's that needs this ink. A friend of Eleanor's as well?
Of course.
Yeah.
The source of this friendship?
Work friends, I suppose.
The record.
Indeed. Okay. Yeah. Well, I can understand why you'd be needing ink for your work at the record.
Yeah, important. It's important. You know, we've run out.
Yeah, and he tells you he can supply you with ink. That's not a problem. He feels he probably knows the type of ink that would be best suited for your particular needs. Tells you it'd be 10 gold pieces.
Yeah, that's fine. I didn't know if that would come under the cost of copying out the spells or not. But,
Yeah, it will for what you're doing.
so obviously I've already paid it. But yeah. But yeah, I happily pay for any amount of ink he can provide.
And before Carl's finished grabbing however many drinks he's planning to take this evening, he's doing the same line of work as the two of you. That does surprise me.
Yeah, he's the muscle.
Really?
Look at him.
Not. This is separate, perhaps, to our other dealings with us. We're just doing a little bit of work for the record on the side. Well, as our jobs, I suppose, but I like to continue on the side.
Of course. So he... Fine. Not my business.
I look at Z and just say, like, kind of give him like a wave, like kind of like I'll explain later.
Yeah,
Not
that's
worth
cool.
talking about.
I'm not questioning it. Weirder things have happened.
But I'm confident Mr. Garben will change his ways.
That is one stubborn bastard.
Oh, I know, but you'll be surprised. Yeah. It's been a mad couple of weeks.
Well, yeah, a surprise for him to be acquainted with two people like yourselves and to be dealing in whatever we're dealing in.
I've got to say, I was surprised when he came to us.
He turns to you again, Z, and tell me, this needing this ink in such a rush. This is presumably for expanding one's knowledge.
I mean, less expanding, more duplicating. It's good to have a backup. You never know.
Indeed, or to spread one's knowledge.
Yeah, I'm
Well-
not really into the spreading of knowledge at the moment. That tends to get you stabbed.
Should you be in need of any goods which are not part of the common market, I can normally be found around the city if you ask around in the right places.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
Not easily found, but easily pushed towards, I suppose, would be a good way to put it.
If I was to make an inquiry,
Mm-hmm.
there's, as I'm sure you're aware, certain papers that are not permitted to be had in the city generally, that are helpful to someone such as myself for expanding one's repertoire. Should you come across any, I'd probably be interested in having a look. And depending on what they're for, maybe paying you a pretty penny for them.
It's interesting that you would mention that. I know people. I can source things, and even if I'm not the one in particular moving an item through the city and through this this underground market, let's say, I still hear things. I may know somebody that would have something of quite heavy interest.
Well, I'm always happy to hear about it. I can't promise I'll have the coin if they're too expensive, but I'm all right at the moment. So
Well, normally I would like to place myself as a finder and the appropriate finder's fee, but for this, even a percentage on this would probably be rather expensive. So maybe I could just put you in touch with the right people. But word has it that Willow Quickstep at Gunlowers may have come into possession of a rather valuable scroll of late.
I wonder where that came from.
Indeed. I'm sure she'd be willing to part of it for the appropriate price.
Does this person often have these kinds of objects available, or
That
He's
would
got a few bits and pieces, yeah.
probably depend on who's asking, but for the right person, she wouldn't be the best source in the city.
okay, that would be you.
Well, one does not like to brag. And I think perhaps before Carl returns, that's probably a good place for us to end this conversation. You have what you need from me.
Absolutely, and I appreciate your business.
If you'll be needing me again, I'm sure we will be able to come into contact.
I'll be able to find you, I'm sure.
Withers gets up at this point and stops at the bar to just sort of thank Carl for introducing him to his rather peculiar choice in friends. Just sort of reminds Carl to take care. Those who are not properly trained will can certainly suffer consequences.
That is very true, and that's what I keep telling him.
And with that, Withers makes an exit. Anything else you guys want to do whilst you're in a tavern together?
Christ, Carl, that took forever.
Yeah, was there a
big-
queue? Or...
I forgot to get you a drink as well. It seemed you seem to having a conversation. I don't, I don't want you to. Yeah, I don't want anything to happen to you. So just
Oh, he's so cute, caring about me. We've
You're,
softened
you're,
you up, haven't we?
you're a good man, Carl Garbin. Or at least you're a man with good qualities.
been saying that for years. Hmm. Which makes me think. Anyone want to go for a drink?
Happily. Here or somewhere else?
Somewhere else.
I'll stay for one, I think.
Well, a little bit of a walk first,
Yeah, let's go for a wander.
and we So we'll walk out. Not really. Carl certainly isn't talking about anything in particular. But what's the nightlife like in Austria? In God, I forgot where we are. Griffinsteel at the moment.
Yeah.
Are there vendors? I'm specifically people that might sell flowers and that sort of stuff.
Yeah. There's markets. The markets kind of stay open quite late into the night. Maybe the less classy ones, but yeah.
That's a good idea because actually, what we also need is some food because that snake stuff was disgusting. So
Food's good.
walk through the market, and I'm going to buy a single white geranium.
Mhm.
And then as we're walking, once we've kind of done that, we've got some food. Not going to be drawn into why I bought it. We'll just walk somewhere else. Right, I know where we're going for a drink, and then we just got to get to a street corner. Oh, hang on a second. You two just wait here, and I'm just going to go up the street a little bit, and just drop the flower and note off.
Yep.
And then come back, and then right, let's go. And then we'll go to, if I can, ideally somewhere near the place that MM drinks.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to talk to him. We're just going to drink and just watch, just observe, see what's going on, and that will be the evening.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you guys settle down at the tavern, share a drink together. That's all cool.
Wait, who are you watching?
I will say later.
It's a secret.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, you can definitely tell Eleanor and probably Z that definitely watching someone.
Oh, I think I know who you mean.
Is it that guy? Oh no.
She'll kick Z under the table.
Do I recognize? Do I expect this person you're watching? I've heard of their name, right?
Yeah, you have the same person on your radar for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm also watching them.
You would, yeah. You guys.
Is it me?
Z,
Yeah.
Z, entirely unaware, but both of you would recognise this person. Comes into the bar, around
Right.
9 p.m. Has 2 drinks before leaving. Literally about 2 minutes to 10. About as close to 10 p.m. as you can get. Doesn't socialise whilst in the tavern. Sort of sits on their own. Has 2 drinks and then just disappears. Almost bang on 10 p.m.
Is that the look of someone who's stocking up before starting work?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there.
Cool. The following morning, those of you who are taking care or making use of your space in the dormitory, the space given to you by the record, you each have a sort of young man knocks at your door to say that they've heard you guys have returned from your trip. They have 2 weeks worth of wages to share everyone. So everyone gains 30 gold pieces.
Yeah, boy.
What?
I assume those of us that aren't there will have it distributed to us.
Probably, yeah. You can all have 30 gold pieces. Cool. 1 second.
I just noticed it sends you the message when we had gold to ours.
Do what, sorry?
It sends the message to you when we had gold to it.
It does. Whenever anyone changes their currency, I can see. Just to be sure that Warforged doesn't suddenly become the richest Warforged in the world. Yeah, I believe you guys. I think you can only see your own, but yeah, I can
believe
see
so.
yours.
Yeah.
The power is immense. Cool.
Is that the same when we equip and unequip stuff as well?
Yes.
Is it just you?
Yeah,
who can see it?
yeah. I believe so. I think you should only ever see any change made to your own sheets, but I can see the chat things for all of them.
I can see Carl's because I was in control of him last week.
Oh yeah, that is true. Shall I fix
But
that?
as long as you don't tell Carl that I know.
He'll
Yeah, we
never
won't
know.
Ah.
Nah.
That's fine.
Privileges revoked, Shane. Cool. Okay. So Warforged, you're still hard at work at the record, right? Elwyn, you are crafting your many trick arrows, Hawkeye style. I like it. Z, you this last day you're planning to just press on and try and get everything finished, yeah? Good.
If I have any spare time,
Yeah.
can I start slowly making myself a dagger?
Yes, totally. Yeah.
Obviously, I won't be. I'll just do it like with the person that's running the shop and do it really slowly, if you know what I mean.
Yes. Yeah.
Why don't you want to be Elwyn anymore?
I'm with you. Yes, yeah, you definitely can. You can start making progress on that. The arrowheads you had to sort, they are like a day's work. That's fine. So 2 of the 3 days you can put into turning that claw into the poison dagger. I will note down that you have completed 2 days. Cool. Yeah, Z, you're just planning to press on with the last day of copying stuff over, yeah? You're muted, but I'm going to take silence as a yes. Good. Ella, you're turning that travel article, aren't you, for the record? I believe.
Yeah, I suppose I might as well. If Z's okay with it, I guess I'll go round to their house and write it like kind of at theirs, and just be like, I'm having a hard time finding a good story because there's no satisfying end to the story because we didn't find out any answers to anything. So I said, like, what about a travel piece? Anybody who actually goes, it's stupid enough to go there is going to die anyway. So it doesn't really matter. And I'm assuming Z thinks that's an okay idea, so I just do it at their house. And then I'll turn it in mid-afternoon, and depending on how they get on with copying, I'll go back and help them if they need it. If they don't need it, then I will just go back home and chill.
Yeah. Levi...
So you should take magic out of the title. just as a comment. But what do I know?
What is it called? I can't remember what it's called. I forgot it now.
You said something like having a magic time or something.
Is Neelam's Grove the next go-to magical getaway for the adventurous type?
Yeah.
Levi seems quite happy to see you. Has a look over the article and seems quite confused by the contents. And sort of makes a comment saying he's not really sure whether this should be published under the sort of the daily fiction article.
Look, Levi, I assure you that everything in that article is bizarrely true. Even more, there's a million things I didn't put in the article because I just didn't know how to explain them. It's a crazy place. The thing that actually really confuses me is why the people of Pear Trees who live next to it don't seem to know anything about it.
Quite a long way, but yeah, it is a crazy place.
Interesting.
Sorry.
Well, it gets pretty magical and weird like the second you step in. So like I can't explain what we saw there, and I can't really put it into a story because there was no ending, there's no satisfaction, like there's no answers. We were left with more questions than we went in. I thought we were on something really good, a really good story, a really good feel good story, something which might have changed our world. But it's not what happened. Maybe at some point we'll go back, but right now I think the next story is probably in Griffinstill. I think you know what it is.
Yeah, and he asks if you've presumably by now heard the news about Nate.
Yeah.
He tells you that Nate failed to arrive for work Wednesday morning. And the other members, other sort of colleagues at the record were quite concerned and took that to the City Watch, who were less than helpful, he says. But Levi himself was able to apply a little bit of pressure to eventually get them to head over and sort of make a welfare check, where Nate was found dead in his bed. No sign of injury, no sign of any kind of break-in. He's been trying to get any information from the Watch since. The Watch haven't been forthcoming with any information. They keep saying that they are, looking into it and that they will speak to the press at the time.
I think.
Gone.
I think this is the kind of story that we should be looking into.
Yeah, he agrees, and he says, the agreement when he put this group together was that you would have the choice to choose your own stories and lead your investigations where you felt they were appropriate, but this was one of our own, and maybe I shouldn't say it in my position, but I don't believe the City Watch are inclined to look into this.
Yeah, I know what you're driving at.
And I do accept that feeling may not go down well with some members of your team.
I think you'd be surprised, actually.
Okay.
Look, I haven't spoken about the others, and I'm sorry that this travel story basically isn't really that good, but I promise you it's true, and I'm hoping it can be put in them, and maybe people don't believe it, and maybe people think it's a laugh, a bit of a joke. That's okay. I'm actually quite happy with that, but I want to get to the bottom of this, so I want to talk to them next time I see them.
Yep.
I believe some of the people have been around here for money and stuff, but I think we took a couple of days off. Trust me, don't go to Neelam's Grove. We've seen some real horrors. I really mean that. You might think the war correspondents have it bad, but it's been pretty rough.
Interesting.
But yeah, we will. Hopefully, we'll be looking into this. Anyway, I've got to go. Hopefully, you can publish the story.
Yeah, it's cool. He lets you go. Okie dokie. I think, unless anyone says otherwise, I think the only other thing I had to deal with downtime wise was one other thing with Z, which I'll do when Jake is back. Unless anyone has had anything else they need to do, which I haven't.
A quick little thing that I could do with Eleanor helping me with, I think.
Oh yes,
Sure.
Yeah.
This I think is a new one. But if I can see Eleanor when she's leaving the record, as that's presumably near where I am, I will come over. I've got something you could help me with. Just a little bit of research.
Oh yeah.
At the big building with books, the library, and I just have a feeling you'll be better at it than I will be.
Because I can read.
Yeah, that'll do. So have you got an hour or so just to?
Yeah. I'm just telling the story. To be honest, Levi didn't like it that much, but we can't tell them what actually happened.
No, but I do think we should tell someone. And then as we're walking, okay. First thing is, I mean, is what's going on in Leland Grove something Griffinsteel should be worried about?
I don't know, man. It's your city, your country.
Yeah, that's
It's difficult to know because it to me it seems so bonkers, so crazy that such seemingly strong forces are operating a day's travel away from here, and yet nobody knows. Not even the people who live in the village next to it.
that's where we're going. I reckon it would be interesting to have a look through some of the history and see whether it's whether this whole Diendre and Neelam Grove and whether Drende, whether any of that is mentioned
So
anywhere.
I don't understand. This is why I'm so frustrated as an investigator about being forced into the forest. Is we haven't got any answers, and I don't know whether this forest has been like this for millennia, or whether in the forest time doesn't act as it does outside the forest, and really it's only really been a thing for a week. And maybe we should really be scared of this, or maybe we should really be concerned. I don't know.
So I did wonder. I think it was worth looking up some history stuff there, and I thought you'd be better at doing that than me.
The archives.
And at the same time, how long have you been a member of the ELF?
What's that?
I don't want to insight check, but insight check. The Elf Liberation Front, is that right?
Not heard of it. Sorry.
No. You were friends with the reporter that died, weren't you?
Oh, I knew colleagues. We used to have offices near each other.
Okay. So when I accused you of being that, was there any flicker?
No. Seems very confident in a response. Doesn't really break from normal sort of mannerisms.
I'm pretty sure I asked this right back at episode 1 or 2. But your eye's not purple, is it? What colour is your eye?
Blue.
Blue. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did ask that before.
You did, yeah.
So yeah, okay. So do you think the ELF killed Nate then?
Why would they kill him?
Well, I heard he was he'd been sort of talking about them in the record, and he was talking about exposing them.
Oh no, I don't think so. I think he was not exposing that. Maybe that's the wrong word. He was. I think he was fairly pro Alf.
I think.
I suspect it was the captain. Personally.
The captain.
Yeah, look, I know that you're a guard at heart, and once a guard, always a guard. But someone gets murdered, and he's known for having an affair with someone else's wife, and that man is a man of the guard.
Oh, I see.
And between you and me, I look around. Can I look around and make a perception check to see whether there's any guards people around?
Yeah, sure. Nothing you can see at the moment. You seem okay where you are currently.
Yeah, between you and me, it seems like the guards aren't doing enough to investigate this. And I know you guys like to protect your own. And look, I'm not criticizing you.
No,
I
sometimes.
I sort of get it. Like I don't. I'm not part of the. But I get there's like a brotherhood there, a camaraderie. But so far all the signs point to the captain, shall we say?
Yeah, you're probably right. What do I know? Simplest answer is
Yeah,
often the right one.
Austrial's razor.
Right. Go on then.
Um,
Show us your reading skills.
yeah, so I guess we get to the archives or the library or whatever. Yeah, the archives of Thentos.
Got a whole page.
Actually, I'm not very good at history.
I,
I've only got
I think I might be.
I've only got +1 to history.
Character sheet. But yeah, so we'll just do a little bit of light research. Just, I guess, certainly I'm interested in whether it's been mentioned before. Yeah, what do they seem to know about Neelam's Grove?
Yeah, yeah. I just search for all those sorts of books.
That's cool. Yeah.
Why?
There is, yeah. So like the sort of upper levels are available for anyone to look through and sort of search. I will get you both to make an investigation check for me.
Yeah, that'll do for me.
I'm better at investigation,
In theory.
in theory. I do get +7 though, so
Yeah, you both spend a bit of time sort of looking through what you can find, sort of some world history books, some records. You find sort of lots of mentions of the forest. There's lots of information about wildlife, but nothing really that seems to match what you're looking for in particular, or seems to give any further information beyond it being a big forest. There is the gnome who works here, Murdry, who occasionally asks if you need any assistance. That may be an alternate avenue of approach based on your skill checks.
I think I'm happy to leave it at that for now, unless the keen reporter skills think that we should dig further.
1 second.
Does Austral have a standing army?
The watch is basically the military and police force. Those the military is pretty not really needed. There hasn't really been open warfare since the war with Shate. But in theory, should Austral go to war, then it would be them that would be doing that. The City Watch kind of does the same thing on the eastern border, where the sort of ongoing issues with the Orc Nation crashes. That's kind of essentially the Watch is the same thing. If you were a member of the City Watch in Griffinsteel and decided to sort of transfer out that way, then you would essentially be on the front lines. But yeah, it's kind of the military all in one. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'll talk to the gnome and see if I can ask the gnome about any information about. I'm going to ask, I think, probably about pear trees and the forest near pear trees, and not mention Neelam's Grove by name to the gnome.
Yeah. And he's able to he sort of he knows what you're talking about. He tells you it's a place that has been written about by many scholars, many of those that are interested in nature and history. The halflings themselves, he tells you, believe that all life came from within Neelam's Grove, and that it was a sacred part of the world, something that needed to be looked after and protected. Something that perhaps since the three nations combined has been a little bit lost over the last that sort of period of time, he tells you. But Yeah, he's able to give you a load of vague information, but really, you certainly don't get any information you don't know. If anything, it seems like you probably know more than he does. At least what he's sort of openly willing to tell you. Yeah.
Can I ask him to point me in the direction of a couple of books that might be go into a bit more detail?
Yeah, and he sort of takes you to one particular section where he says, this is actually like a section on halfling history. He tells you this would probably have the most accurate sort of records on Neelam's Grove. This is written by the halflings themselves, the sort of history of their own nation. This should probably be most appropriate.
Great, thank you. I thank him and give him a silver.
Very cool.
For his time. No, a copper, because 2 copper. How many silver? 1 electrum. I give him 1 electrum.
Even kinda.
Well, flicking. I'll just have a quick flick through these books, and I'll pass one to Carl as well. Does anything pop out like really quickly? Just flicking through them, to do with like the magic kind of weirdness in Neelam's Grove.
Not immediately. There are you do find some mentions of the forest, again being like the cradle of life or the home of all life, and also you find a few mentions of the forest protecting the world, the forest sort of protecting those that are outside of it from within, but that's about all you can find with a quick study. Yeah.
Okay. I will just say to Carl in that case that I think we need to come back here with the. I think there's probably some keywords, some more magical keyword type things that I don't know that they will be able to understand better.
Yep, I can see that.
That's cool.
Sorry, I can't help. As we leave, whilst we're walking back to wherever we're going back to, I guess the record or whatever. I do want to ask Carl what his opinion on Elf is. Now that maybe you spent some more time with elves.
I think I can. I'm not sure about Elf. I don't really. I think elves are people, I guess. Yeah, elves are people. And mostly they're mostly poor people. And I think that we need to be helping. I think they're mostly oppressed, and that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
The poor, whatever race, are taken advantage of by the better offs, and that's just a bad thing, and that doesn't really matter where you are or what you are. I think so. I think some of the placards are fine. I'm not sure about some of their methods. Some of it is drifting towards activism or even terrorism in places, and that's not going to help anyone. That's pretty much what I think. But
you continue to surprise me, Mr. Garvin. I think I had you wrong when I first met you.
Well, maybe not. I don't know. It's these last couple of weeks, I've definitely seen more of the world than I've seen for a long time, and maybe in the watch we get a little bit blinkered, and there's stuff out there that we don't understand, and maybe we need to understand it.
Oh hell! Almost everything that I experienced in Needham's Grove, I don't understand. That was an experience.
Magic bullshit. Am I right?
Well, it was certainly both magic and bullshit.
It's.
I would agree with that.
I mean that. Do you really think that old lady is a god? Or is she just some bored magic user with nothing better to do than to fuck us around?
I'll tell you what, if she is a magic user, she's very powerful one. I come from, a place of magic, and I know a few tricks myself. I'm by no means an expert, but like if the things that she did, there are a handful, if that, of people who can do that in the world, in the universe, in our plane. So maybe, but at that point, she's basically a god.
Just why?
I don't know.
Save me from gods. Save me from gods and people that think they know what they should do. So tell me what you know about this captain, I say as we walk back off.
Oh, nothing. Only that his wife's been having some dalliances with dear old late Nate. Nothing more than that. Did you work under him?
Well, he's a captain, I guess. To be honest, don't really pay a lot of attention to the ones with stripes. Some of them are okay. Wender's okay, but some of the others, career soldiers, or just in it for the money. So no, I don't. I could ask around, I guess.
I tell you what. I think tomorrow morning we're meeting up. Right, this is the third day, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna bring everyone together in the tavern this evening or something, and you guys can kind of.
Yeah,
Sure.
let's go and talk to them.
Well, I recommend the Hungry Horse. And I was going to offer to drop by to the others and let them know.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't know if others need anything to do, so to catch up. But yeah.
Yeah, unless anything else I don't think they need to do, we'll just...
Is Jake back?
I don't think so.
Okay. We should probably wait for him to come back. I'm gonna go have a drink whilst he's not back.
Yeah, that's cool. There was nothing else you was. There was the Cormac. You were just being a hard-working boy, weren't you? Good. I can't talk. What? What? So what? I can't talk, nails drying. I'm so confused. Okay, Cormac, that's fine.
Cormac's drying his nails.
It appears that way.
That's fine.
Whilst he's doing that, I will... I think, if I got those things... I think I might already have those arrows put on Elwyn's sheet. If not, I will remember to do that. Let me have a look. Oh, I can hear hairdryer in the background. I think... Is there a hairdryer in your bedroom being used, Cormac? No. Oh, okay. The mystery continues. Okay.
Maybe he's just done his nails and he can't press the talk button.
Ah, he can type, but he can't press push to talk. I see. He's just finished doing his own nails. What colour did you choose? Oh, nice.
Nice. Oh, is it half time?
I was able to put it down. Yeah. So could I read about private stuff? That sounds bad. Could I do some reading up about the... How do I whisper again?
If it's easier,
Oh,
while we're waiting for Charlie to come back and Jay, I can jump in the other chat with you if you want quick.
I'm actually back.
Yeah. Oh.
But yeah, you can jump in, of
Yeah,
course.
jump into the chat if you want.
Yeah.
Cool, Mike. Did you paint your nails?
I can't imagine that's going to end well.
Talk about Z.
What,
That's
politely
that's
or...
what he wants.
Yeah.
And so,
What happened with the? So I kind of like got really confused when it said freedom. What happened then? Because I was very confused.
well, he asked the book what it wants. I think. Is that right? And then it said it wanted freedom.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
how can a book have freedom?
I'm not sure it's the book necessarily, more so the celestial being attached to it. The celestial being who may or may not be incredibly evil.
I mean,
We don't know.
we only really know it from I only know it from kids' stories, but I don't remember a single kid's story where the being trapped in a thing turned out to be good. Although I suppose Aladdin. Now I think about it.
Yeah, but actually, jinns in general are not always benevolent.
No, I mean, had I been there and heard you say it to him, I would certainly have agreed that someone offering you power is almost certainly not a good thing.
I mean, the one Jin encountered on this world so far was not particularly friendly.
It was not, no.
I will be back in a moment.
And what will you be until then?
Is that one shot on, was that Twitched?
No, because we played in person, and I don't have those kind of skills, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Although it was written up because I have.
Yeah, there is like a in the session notes.
Yeah, there is. There was some reason why I didn't read it. I saw it, looked at it, and I thought, oh no, I won't read that. I don't really know
it's probably
why.
a bit of a wall of text, probably. I think from what I recall.
There's quite a lot of bullet points. It's okay.
For what it's worth, the thing that happened at the end, the news of that hasn't reached Austria yet, or Griffinstone at least. Because I mentioned this to Sam. So it doesn't actually matter.
I thought it was set I thought it was set prior to the war.
No, it was not.
Oh, I didn't realise that. I mean, not that it's really relevant, but so the news has not reached Griffinstone yet.
No,
I'm not sure exactly how concurrent it was set with what we're doing right now versus how long it takes for news to travel. But because I expect news to travel quite quickly.
It says 7th of October, 7/150.
Okay, so it happened 5 days ago.
2 days ago. So
12th now.
today's the 12th.
Oh, second. It's the.
Yeah.
Oh, it's today the 12th. Oh, of course, we've moved forward from the 9th. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's only literally just happened. So there's going to be.
Yeah, when that news breaks, all hell's going to break loose.
Kind of assume that there is. Yeah, I mean, unless Austral is sneaky, and I guess the lightning trains kind of go along that line. There's not going to be magical forms of communication into Austral. So
that's a good question for the DM, I think, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, openly in terms of what the Australian government would say, then yeah, there is no forms of magic communication within Austria. No.
Are there any embassies? Is that a thing?
Not for shape, for sure.
No.
No, I don't think so. Certainly not that I had thought through. No, so no.
Good, because then my next question was going to be: are they allowed to use magic? Which would be Interesting.
Secret GM calendar on Foundry. I do have a date for when I expect that news to arrive.
Oh, nice.
What happened? What's the relationship between Austria and Shay at the moment? I actually don't know. Like,
there's no open warfare. Since pretty much since the curse, like that was a pretty resounding like back the fuck off, I guess. But there's peace in as much as that they're not at war, but there's no sort of friendliness. There's no open trade between Shate and Austral, particularly.
okay,
No.
so it's almost like the two
Fraud.
places don't exist.
That one's not very good. I noticed you changed the backdrop to the Foundry itself to a map of. I don't know when you did it.
Oh yeah,
So,
I did that a little while ago, I think. But yes, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice looking map.
Thanks. I think where they suggest anything we could do in Jake's absence, but I don't really, at least not in game anyway. Unless Warforged wants to tell us about what's been going on in the warehouse.
I heard they ran out of ink.
I mean, I don't really.
There's no actual need to respond, Cormac. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to put you on the spot. I'm sorry.
I do say to everyone though, I got this new set of tools. I did.
Oh yeah, you did.
I show my tinkerer's tools.
Ooh,
Nice.
I might try and get to learn them and stuff.
Warforged.
Yeah.
You know that you're assigned to our little investigation group.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean I don't do Warforged need money? If you need money, I mean you get paid for it. Why are you going back to the factory and working? You can spend your days doing what Warforged like to do. I don't know what they like to do.
Whatever.
I don't really have. I don't really have anything else to do. So I guess sort of be a nice thing for some people if they didn't have didn't have to work the whole day, and I could take over. Yeah.
That's it's very benevolent of you.
You're working so that others can go have the weekend off.
Yeah.
Oh, you are the co-worker from heaven. What a dude.
Yeah. It's not really. Don't have a lot of other things that I can do, anyways. I mean, I don't think I have a home. Sam, do I have a home?
I mean, you've got lodgings that the record provided, but that's it. A Warforged of simple pleasures.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you've not been in Griffinstill that long, right?
Only at 12 months, right?
Yeah.
I remembered it.
Well done.
Rare.
Do it, say.
What? I just went bleh.
So have we asked you how you came to Griffinsteel?
Me?
Mm.
No, you haven't asked me.
Warforged. How did you come to Griffinsteel?
Just like, well, I was just around and I was like, I guess just like, I was trying to look for a cool place where I could get like a job, so I could start earning money to, well, you know, upgrade my armor and stuff like that.
Is that what you spend your money on? Is it like
Well,
just
I
pimping
mean,
yourself out?
either I spend it on that or try and, well, I spend it on that, and also it was for a home because I just lived in the woods.
Mm.
So, yeah, I didn't really have a lot of places to go to, so I would just like practice magic and stuff on trees.
Mm. Yeah, so I'll look around, make sure we're not being overheard, and then say, so what you do is magic? I'd kind of assumed it was just part of what you were because you're a thing. But
Do you
don't
mean?
take
Do you
don't
mean
take me
like
the wrong
the?
way.
Do you mean all the like the cool, not the cool things, like how I can teleport, how I can?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, that
that's like magic. Yeah, that's magic.
Where where'd you get your source of magic?
Oh, well, from like a person I worship, and them they give me all the magic and stuff.
A worship? Who do you
Well,
worship?
Oh,
not really
Carl
worship,
puts his drink down and then looks over at you.
not
What?
worship, but it's not. It's this person that, that sometimes talks to me. That's all.
What, like a guy in the street gives you a spell scroll to use?
Oh no, it's not a spell scroll. It's like it's sort of engraved into my memory. I guess I can explain it.
When he talks to you, is he physically there, or is this another voice in your head?
It's not a voice in my head. They come in like in different sort of ways. Like, they don't really come in person, but they send a representation of themselves and then sort of talk to me in through my head, I guess. But I can sort of, it feels like they're talking to me, like, well, regularly, because they're in front of me and not like Z and Leo can, how they've just got a voice in the back of their head.
Okay. Carl is now wishing he hadn't asked.
Why?
This
I don't know what to do with the information now.
this person who speaks to you, this patron, shall we say?
Mm.
Who are they?
I mean, they're the person that gives me all magic and stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I know that. I mean, what are their names? You know, what's their name?
I, well, their name is. What is their name?
01110011110.
Yeah.
Is it Code Monkey?
Well, I mean, it's my creators, like the person my creator worship.
Oh, who's your creator worship?
The person I can't really remember.
Is that Warforged can't remember or Concormat can't remember?
Warforged can't remember.
Okay.
And also well, I don't know. I don't even know what.
So this person who comes and gives you power, do you know anything about them other than that? They just turn up and you accept their gifts?
Well, I do know a bit about them. They sort of like help me, like give me power, and then I have like the same, like the metal from my sword, and like from my axe before. That's what they gave me the metal for that. Apparently, there's more of that metal.
Can I see your sword?
Yeah, I give you the rapier.
What does it feel like, Sam?
It's pretty well made. It's quite light. Beyond that, it kind of just feels like a rapier. It certainly doesn't feel magical. There's no kind of read comes from it in that respect.
Does it feel better or like I put up my rapier? Is it better made? Does it feel stronger or whatever?
No, it doesn't. No noticeable difference particularly. You can see with a bit of attention that it's they're made from a different well, that's good. They are made from a different metal. But beyond that, they seem pretty comparable. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I give it back. So how does this patron of yours give you metal?
Oh, they gave it to my creator, and once my creator died,
I see.
once my creator died, I will start worshipping the same person, and then I took like all of his stuff, and
Right.
yeah.
But you can't remember the name of this person. Next time you talk to them, ask them their name.
Yep. Okay.
Yup.
So, yeah, Carl's going to say something like, so Warforged is magic, not just a thing. Next, you're going to be telling me that what you do, old man, he says, looking at Elwyn, isn't some sort of elf stuff, but it's magic as well.
No, it's elf stuff.
Phew. I can drink to that. Cheers glasses with Elwyn.
It's take it back, yeah?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to interrupt. It sounded like conversation was going on.
So at this point, Xavier works through the door, I guess, of the pub.
Hi.
We're
Where
currently
are
in a pub. We're in a pub
Sounds good.
called the. I've got the name of it. 1 second. Sam might know off the top of his head.
Hungry Horse.
The Hungry Horse.
Sounds good to me.
And I mentioned it's the evening of the third day. And I mentioned that we should meet here. To other people. And we're all here now.
Oh, I guess with Jake back as well. So the final day, obviously, you carry on copying over your spells, copying over the last of them. As you do, as you sort of near the end of the task, the last 2 hours, maybe 90 minutes, those notes on the pages change again, begin appearing, but this time they actually become like just kind of insults targeted towards you. You start finding first of all just disappointment again. Then there's then weakling. Then one of them, when you turn the next page, is just the words lack of bravery, and this time it's like circled as if it's trying to bring your attention to it. And this just kind of cascades, and the last maybe 45 minutes or so just become this like almost quite traumatic. Like the book at this point just seems to have absolute venom towards you. Like it's trying to make it hard. The text appears over the things you're intending to copy. And it just seems to be essentially like taunting you or just challenging you as best it can.
It's like walking through the streets of Griffinsteel then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to let it stop me because I figure it's probably doing it for a reason, and that reason is probably not good. But I'll try and keep note of what it says.
Yeah, sure.
Like make a little note of that just in case the things start recurring somewhere else. But you know, it's all good. I'll crack on. not gonna let it stop me working.
Okay. Yeah. So you all agree to meet up at this tavern on this Saturday evening. Partay.
Sorry, I'm late, guys. Sorry, I got held up. What's going on?
Nothing. Did you get everything sorted out?
Yeah, it's all good. It's all sorted. Happy days.
Good. Folks, I brought you here because I don't know who anybody here knows this place, but I think our next story should be Nate.
Yeah.
Who? Sorry.
Nate, the guy from the record who got killed.
Didn't the record already write a story about him?
Well, no, they just wrote a obituary, I suppose. But
Oh, okay.
look, I spoke to Levi, and the watch aren't doing anything about this, and no one knows why or how he died, and as we all know, I think he was a bit known for having some dalliances with the wife of the captain, but also he was my friend, and he was also quite well known as being a member of Alf. And look, that might have got him in trouble. How I know it got me in trouble a lot of times.
Alwyn, he doesn't like the Alf group. Even though he's an
Awkward.
Alf, he likes to hassle him a bit too much. Are you going to write in the story about him having a relationship with men's wives in it?
No, I wanted to catch this bastard did this.
Do you know how many wives he was seeing?
No, only the one. Why do you know of more?
That was my question to you.
Yeah, no, I only know of one.
So you're thinking we have to solve a mystery, solve a murder mystery, is what you're saying? I'm interested.
I'd like to. Look, Levi wants us to as well.
Yeah, sounds good.
Like Levi, he wasn't a member of Alf, but he supported us, and our cause. So yeah, I'm worried for my own safety now. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, if this is something to do with Alf, I could be next.
Trust me, we ain't letting anything happen to you.
Yeah.
You're far too important.
And anyways, I mean, like, most of the time you're with us, so
Which means you're
Like-
you're also in danger as well. I'm not sure what it is. You know, no one knows. Everybody in Alf doesn't know. And it could be the gods. It could be something completely different. But it could be, look, Nate and I have some differences sometimes, but we both had the same sort of broad cause.
The thing that I think about, it could be the captain, it could be the guards. Now, I've known many a guardsman who's had a problem with someone, and I know a few that have taken it out physically on someone, but they don't leave you dead in your bed with no sign of death.
No,
If a guardsman's going to kill you,
you're gonna know about
found
it.
in an alley somewhere.
Yeah, no, I agree. I've had this is why I think it might be something to do with Alf. And I think Nate may have been a bit of a pain in the ass to forgetting anything personal, because he was prominent in his beliefs, and I point to Carl. Surely that's got to have pissed you off. You're a lot off sometimes. And I get that. There's a reason why I hide my identity.
Well, you're not a member of Elf.
Sure. I am. I have been for many years. In fact, Mr. Garden, we've had a few run-ins in the past.
Have we? Let's take a quick another look at her.
Mm-hmm.
No, I would have recognised her.
I take my eye patch off.
What was that?
I take my eye patch off.
Yeah.
And underneath the eye patch, you see a perfectly working, blinking, bright purple eye.
Whoa.
Just
That's
slide
wicked.
back slightly.
What's going on there?
What's going on? Definitely, you can see that Carl is not comfortable now. Start looking around. Just, is anyone paying us more attention than they perhaps should?
No, we're okay in here. That's why I brought you here.
There's definitely attention being paid to your table. Doesn't seem like it's there's not a bunch of heavies watching you, but yeah, there certainly seems to be people paying attention. You probably notice, having a bit of a closer look, the clientele of this particular tavern are a little more those are the less popular variety. Maybe the wraiths and strays of Griffinsteel. A few more elves than you would normally see in the same location at any one time.
I get it now. Can I say to... Wait, so we're all still in this tavern, right?
Yes.
Could I say to Eleanor, why do you wear an eye patch if you have a working eye?
That's a good question. Mr. Goblin will probably agree with me that the purple eye stand out. I guess I was blessed with a rare genetic trait, which unfortunately makes me rather easy to spot.
Story has it that one of the leaders of the Elf Liberation organization is a female with purple eyes.
I had purple eyes. I had a purple eye.
The
It got me in trouble.
That's... So is this place the elf place?
It's a place that is more welcoming of us.
Ah.
That's why I thought we could talk here safely. But I was more brash, I suppose, in my younger years when I first got to Griffinsteel, when I first saw the injustice of that was rife here, especially with the Alvan folks. Obviously not an elf, but I have my reasons for having stronger feelings about this. And maybe I caused a little bit too much noise, shall we say, in the wrong way. And it's hard when you've got purple eyes to go unnoticed. So I had to do something about it. Hence a patch.
Wait. But, so... You can see Z's just, like, got a million things running through their brain at a million miles an hour at the moment, trying to piece together what you're saying. Like, so, the eye... The non-purple eye, is that actually real? That is a non-purple eye and you no longer have an eye there?
Oh,
or
no, it's
were
just
you lying to me earlier and the purple eye is the one that was showing up?
No, I just pop it out. It's magic.
God,
It's
that is wild.
There's like a rough scar left where the eye was.
Sorry, I don't mean to pry. I'm just genuinely quite curious.
No, it's fine.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I had
Purple,
to do something about my eyes. So
purple eyes, eh?
yeah.
That is, to be fair, fucking awesome difference.
Well,
Yeah.
I
Do
did
you
like
remove
it.
your own eye?
Yeah.
That is badass.
Shit.
That is bad. You must be a little bit with that, Carl. That's pretty badass.
It's
That is,
insane.
that is metal as fuck.
It is metal as fuck.
So just to clarify, you weren't the victim of a shark attack where the only noticeable damage was your eye.
Really, really accurate tiger riding a shark attack.
Mm.
Yes, I was not. No, I I get my knife out and sort of mimic just sort of like popping it in and popping it out. Look, I had to do something about it.
So, and I'd like whisper a little bit. Are you in charge of Elf?
No.
Were you?
No. Look, no. I'm not the guy who would be probably known as being in charge, but
But
the
like,
leadership structure is not existent, I suppose, which maybe is part of our problem.
you're not one of the ones that was doing all the attacking people and stuff, are you?
Which attack are you talking about?
Well, I heard stories that Elf had been causing some violence and stuff. And, you know, I appreciate the cause, but it felt a bit off.
Look, I
Ooh.
no, not really. Like in my brasher, more purple-eyed days, I would do the equivalent of punching a Nazi when I saw a Nazi.
Yeah, that's fair.
But not. Yeah, and I was, I guess, an more anarchist kind of radical protesting. No, nothing. I don't look. This is the problem with Alf. It's the problem with these sorts of progressive politics in general. Is that everybody's got different ways of dealing with it. I used to think that being loud on the streets was the way forward. I used to think that running my mouth off to people who thought that elves should be locked up and keys thrown away and getting them riled up and then having a fight with them was the way to go. And it got me in trouble. I look over, sort of shoot a glance at Carl, and it cost me my eye. I think now I'm a bit older and a bit more sensible, hopefully. And I think the reality is that the way to get things changed is with information, not with violence. And I was never pro the big stuff. That's not
So
me.
you're not taking money from the dwarves then?
Wait, what do you mean money from dwarves?
Well, everyone knows that the real power, the real money behind Elf is the Chalkian Empire.
What can I say? You got me. No, of course not. Wait, it's not right, Sam. I'm not even mad.
Not that you're aware of, no.
No. That's just that's a nice conspiracy. But
Because it's a conspiracy doesn't mean it's true. Well, it means it's not true even.
yeah.
Mhm.
But no. We are a group of people who just want to make lives better for elves, and yes, we some of us care more than others. In my head, by the way, and Sam might disagree, although technically I did create the Alpha Liberation Force. It basically works roughly how like climate change protesters work, where like some climate change protesters are completely are very like active and do like really crazy stuff, and others just like to go on protest, and yeah, so it's kind of like a bit disparate, and there are varying levels of how much people.
But some people like use the eco setting on their washing machine. Some people tie themselves to motorways. You know.
Oh, and with Alf, there's definitely the case of that. You know, there's definitely some people consider themselves members of Alf because they hired an Alf once as their cleaner or something.
Yeah.
And
I had 3 elf friends once. You know.
Yeah, but I say more like a radical kind of like anarchist, not anarchist, but like kind of like radical violent protest. Not like actively destroying, but certainly like willing to fight anybody who wanted to argue, and certainly interested in counter protesting. These days, I mostly work at dealing information, hence working at the Record. Turns out there's no better place to get sources of information than the Record. Nate was a dear friend. Nate really wanted. Nate believed in something bigger than Alf in some ways. He believed that we as a sort of pseudo underground group were ready to go public, and to all of our members were to be made public, because he felt that we had enough people, and that if the people who didn't like elves, the people who were not ready for that social change that we were bringing about, were to find out just how many people and just who the people who were part of this loose organization, then they would be forced to change.
But do you think that's what caused this? If he was the one pushing for that, maybe someone inside of it that didn't want that to happen.
I hope not. I hope this was somebody from outside of Alf who maybe got wind of this and decided to nip the story before it got out, kind of thing. But that's just because I have biases.
Well, yeah, of course.
I'm not ruling anything out.
I think you would hope it's not someone you trust inside your own organisation, but you never know, do you?
I think it's possible. I don't want to. I don't want. You're not members, and I don't want to. Kind of. I don't want to let slip who some of our members are, but I promise you that they are some of the most influential people in Griffin still.
So, do you know who Nate was going to name?
Yeah, everybody.
And were they happy with being named?
Some were, some weren't.
And the ones that weren't?
Well,
stop it.
I don't know. I wasn't happy, for what it's worth, because at the time, when we last spoke, I just got this job. You know, there's a reason why I got this job, and the reason is my last editor boss thought that I was probably an elf, found out about my family, and couldn't prove anything, but decided he wanted off. Levi's not a member, but he is, should we say, friendly to our concerns, and he found me a job.
Does Levi knows you're a member of Elf?
No, but he thinks I am. Just, you know, I point to my eye again, but the purple one. But I'm going to put my eye patch back on and say, like, there was a time where I was very obvious about this stuff, and I've realised that sometimes the best thing to do is to operate in the shadows until you're ready to come forward with the full story. And certainly, I was worried with Nate that we were coming forward with the full story too early. I don't think I would. I mean, I was just a bit upset about it. I wouldn't have killed him, of course. I couldn't have killed him. We were
insight check.
Sure. I mean, you're with me all this time, and we were the.
I don't know. You do magic. You might have been in 2 places at once. That shit's wild.
I should let Sam roll the insight check.
No, you, absolutely believing. Eleanor seems to be quite passionate. I guess bold and impassioned about what she's talking about. But yeah, there's no sense of mystery for anything she's telling you.
Well, yeah, of course you wouldn't have killed him. Why would you have done that? You've been with us the whole time. You couldn't have.
Yeah, indeed. But yeah, so I think, look, the reason I brought you here, all of you, and I look at Carl especially, is because I'm beginning to trust you. And I know that from the outside, sometimes Alf can feel a little bit like some organized body where every member has the same goals and every member is okay with the same sort of actions, but it's not always the case. Now, there's no doubt in my mind that Nate was murdered, and honestly, Carl, I agree with you. If it was a guard, I think he would have been run through with a sword in the alley and left there. That's not saying it's not the guard, but I don't think it is, which makes you think it must be Alf related. And that I'm a little bit scared. So I would love it if we were to able to investigate this some more.
Nobody
I mean-
objects. Okay.
I mean, yeah, you don't even need to ask me if I'm in. You know I've got your back. You know I'm there to help. No matter what.
Carl, I apologise for I guess the disruption I may have caused in a few years ago.
Well, you don't need to worry about that. It's like you paid a price for that.
Willingly.
I guess the question is, how do you guys want to start? What's your starting point for looking into this?
Owen was just backtracking like his last week, who he met with.
Yeah, really good idea.
And he would probably say that maybe Eleanor should take a broader view to his personal life to see if he made any enemies in other ways. Because if he was cheating with one woman with husband, he could have been doing multiple.
Yeah,
So maybe he could have upset another magic guy who could have done something similar.
yeah, it's a very good point. I would do that. I was wondering, Carl, if you could use your influence in the guard to get a look at the body. I think the guard have got the body, but they're not doing anything with it. But I don't know if anybody else has got good at medicine type things, because might be able to discern the cause of death.
I can certainly try.
Alwyn's quite good at medicine.
I know that they've not got a cause of death as yet.
Yeah, so that's what I know. I want to know as well.
Would there be? Is there such a thing as a post-mortem pathology type?
Yeah, there would be.
Yeah, well, I can find out. I can find out where the body is, and
Cool.
That'd be good. Yeah, I can certainly look into his wider personal life. Go ask some questions. Maybe Warforged, do you want to join me with that?
Yeah.
Nice.
And then Z, maybe you could you and Liukin, who's sat here in the corner being very quiet for some unknown reason, could go to his house and see if you could find any. I think maybe you could look at some for some magic hints of magic, maybe, or anything like that.
I can do that. I can look for magic. Are we doing this? Are we going to do this tomorrow?
Yeah. This is late at night.
Just because I'll make sure I prepare. any identification and magic looking spells as actual prepared spells for tomorrow, if that's the case. I'll make sure I've got them ready to go in my repertoire, so I don't have to stand around like a lemon for 10 minutes whilst everyone watches me.
I'm also going to counter suggest that following a session where everyone's been quite split up, everyone should probably go to these places.
Oh, sure, yeah, we should do it together.
Maybe only because otherwise I feel another session
Yeah.
of people split up coming.
Split
actually,
the party!
This one was done very well compared to the last one.
I hope so. Yeah, good.
That's a good point. I was just thinking it's quite hard to sneak a party of 6 people into like the morgue.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know what I was going to say about that. If you want to examine the body, then I can at least find out where it is, and depending who's on duty at a various time, I can maybe there's someone who's willing to take a coin to look the other way.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
The
Turn
ultimate
off the
heist I've
security
always
cameras.
wanted to do is a heist encounter where you try and break into a morgue to look.
Yeah.
at
Let's
the body.
do Oh my god, this is a genius idea. We're good at heists. Well,
We
how
have,
hard
like-
can it be?
Weekend of Bernie's the body back out again.
Yeah. I think better is one where you start off with a vampire and you need to sneak him. You need to get him back into the morgue. Yeah,
Okay.
but I can if it's appropriate, we could certainly maybe sneak him around the back and
Yeah,
can
let's.
distract
I'll leave that up
someone.
to you and your
Mm.
Do you know, I'd never up until recently seen the value in having a friend who's a guard, but now I get it.
You definitely get the impression that Carl is a lot cooler towards you than he was, even at the beginning of the meal. That's
Anything else anybody wants to bring up around the table whilst you're all enjoying a friendly drink like this?
How how safe of a place is this for us to talk about things?
Safe place, I know.
Like in regards to more than just being an elf, I suppose. Can I talk about the old reading problem I may have been having safely or not?
I don't think you can do it safely anywhere, but I think you can. Just quietly and carefully.
I guess Sam, I guess. Yeah, what impression will I get from having been here before?
Yeah, it's probably a relatively safe place. It's probably about as safe a place as you're going to get without going somewhere entirely private.
Yeah. By the way, my character sheet on Legend Keeper is blank now.
Yeah, sorry, I'm in the middle of moving some stuff around.
Right, okay. I just wanted to check something. Can you, if you get a chance, can you DM me the interaction that I've got on there with Carl? Because I can't remember exactly what happened.
I reckon you spat at him and then punched him in the face, and
Like,
he clobbered,
I
and he
think that
clobbered
is-
you one.
I'm pleased to say that Carl doesn't remember it at all.
There should be a sub page, I think, possibly. Like there should be like a little arrow next to Eleanor's name with like a drop down. I've moved some stuff around, messing with permission, so it might be hidden. I'm not
Oh, here you go. Yeah, got it.
Yeah,
Got
that's
it. Got it. Got it.
Was there something you want to bring up, Zeal?
Well, I was just going to mention what I've seen and what's been being said to me whilst I've been trying to copy out these spells.
Back 1
and
second.
And the fact that it's been quite heavily resisting and even to a point fighting against me as I've been trying to do this. Like, I've literally been sitting there copying these spells, and every new page has a new insult thrown on it for the last 12 hours. And, like, trust me, I can cope with the insults. It was just a lot more work than it needed to be. Whatever that book is about, or whatever that book contains, it wants to be free and is willing to
Insults don't hurt
reward.
anyone.
Wow. No, but it was weird, man. Like I don't know if it's hard to explain, but yeah, it's like it originally was quite calm. The first kind of day, it was telling me to stop, and then it wanted freedom. It was going to give me power in return for freedom, and it's just since then the last day or so, I don't know why it seems to be under the impression that I'm not using the book anymore
Oh, surely you're going to
because
get
I'm
rid of the book.
copying it out. Well, this
Isn't that what you're doing? You're
let
copying.
let me ask you a question to try and answer that, Mr. Garvin. This book potentially, from what I've been reading, from what I'm gathering, is a way to free some kind of imprisoned something or other that an evil cult worshipped. Would you like this book to be in anyone else's hands? Or would you like it to be in the backpack of someone that's going to keep hold of it and never use it?
That's a good question.
Because if you've got somewhere better for it to be, I am genuinely all ears.
The old King Griffin still had a wand that could kill out a whole race if he chose to use it. He eventually used it.
Yeah, correct. But, he was in the middle of a war.
There's always an excuse.
Yeah, what if you're in the middle of a fight and that book's the only thing that could save one of our lives? Would you use it then?
Would you hold it against me if I did? Or would you rather I didn't use it and let someone die? Because I can already count on. I can't count on one hand anymore. I don't think the amount of times already power I've learnt from this book specifically, that seems to be stuff that's only been found in this book, has kept one of you alive.
Why? Tell me why we are not hiring a boat, getting some rocks, and driving out to sailing out to the middle of the bay, and dropping the book off the side.
No,
Well, firstly, I heard there's some pretty nasty sharks in the area.
Yep, and some tigers that ride sharks.
Yeah. Secondly, what if it doesn't stay there?
Yeah, that's my concern. Honest, genuinely.
Attacking you.
Yeah.
I
Firstly,
agree.
creatures in the sea. Secondly, this book is clearly magical. What if it doesn't want to stay there?
Like, Z has shown themselves to be a strong person. What happens if the book somehow manages to get loose of the rocks, float to the surface, and is picked up with somebody who's less strong?
By burning it?
I thought about that, but what if destroying the book releases whatever's in it?
Yeah, we talked about this.
Maybe if you could find some god we could pass the book to look after it would be good.
That'd be great, yeah.
Would be ideal, but you'd have to make sure they were a good god first. You have to make sure that they had good intentions with it.
Not sure there is such a thing. Do we give it to Austral then?
What, I'd admit that I've been carrying around a book full of magic for...
Just leave it on the doorstep like a baby.
No.
I mean...
Austral's probably the worst people to give it to.
Yeah.
Their track record with, dangerous magic is not the greatest, but...
No.
That same stuff, so how elves had it was if they used it. I think they would have.
Yeah, we can't give it to... You couldn't give it to Shate. Can you give it to anyone?
I genuinely think that right now, the best keeper of the book is Z.
I had a terrible thought, and it might be not even worth entertaining. That library were very keen for me to bring the book in. I don't think they know what it is. But
Actually,
is it
look,
going to
if-
be safe there?
No.
No.
I think the last thing you can do is give it to somebody who doesn't know what it is.
Well,
Best
yeah,
place,
but you didn't see how many books there were in there, man.
best place to hide a book is in a bookcase.
In a massive, massive bookcase where no one's ever going to find it.
What if some little kid finds it?
But then I suppose, what if the person I give it to there knows what it
What
is, or
What if some
gets tempted
you know,
by it, or
tinker finds it and then exchanges it for some magic beans to a
well, there's no saying this book
half-elf
doesn't
kid?
make itself attractive to people. I suppose there's no saying that this book didn't create the elf I met on the road that sold it to me. There's no
Maybe
anything's
that
possible, I guess.
the man on the roof just thought the same thing. Thought, I don't want this responsibility, so
I don't want it. I'll give it away.
What I'll do is I'll give it to someone who looks so ineffectual that they definitely won't use it.
They won't be able to do anything with it yet.
Yeah. Maybe the safest place is give it to someone who's not going to read it.
Warforged.
Oh, you learn how to read it.
Carl doesn't know how to read, so that's probably safe.
Yes.
Does Carl actually know how to read? I know we've made jokes about it.
Oh, look, yeah, I've got my intelligence is I think 12.
Okay, well that's pretty good actually. It's only
Yeah,
Yes.
it's above
Well,
average. I mean,
that's
yeah.
really. I mean, it's the same as mine. So
Yeah. I've got options.
but again, my decision making caused me to cut a gouge out my eye with a dagger.
Yeah.
So.
Indeed. Yeah, my wisdom's pretty low, but yeah, no, Carl can read. And Carl, contrary to some people at the table, can actually remember what languages he can read.
This is, I mean, fair point.
Like I genuinely think that the best thing we can do with it right now is to keep it in our possession until you work out a bit more about it, and then we can find out the right person to give it to, or what to do with it.
I'm just worried it's going to cause more issues to us as a group if I'm around with it.
Is it?
Well, I was thinking you talked about doing that thing with the
I know what you mean. Yeah.
pockets, putting it
Yeah.
in the pocket.
I have a bit of work before me to get there. I was looking into it. I actually had a little bit of a look last night after our chat. We had a drink and we went back to dinner, so I had a bit of a look. It's not the cheapest of things to manage. It requires a quite intricately made chest, which then vanishes as part of the thing. So I'd need a decent amount of coin before we're able to do that.
I can pay. I can help.
I'm not sure you'd want to at this point.
Wait, why not?
It's gonna set me back about 5,000 gold.
Okay. I can
Just
help with that.
just for a second, do we know that Eleanor sold the scroll?
No. Pretty sure you never told us,
Yeah.
right?
I
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
You don't, yeah.
So
I told you the players.
Yeah,
I did
but not characters.
Yes,
Eleanor
yeah,
did
exactly.
not tell the
So
characters.
yeah, when you say yeah, I can fund that, I am definitely going to have to say, what, with dwarven money?
No.
I look over, I'm like, Jad, not a bad shout actually.
Yeah, it'd be nice, wouldn't it?
It'd be great.
No. Look. First off, I didn't necessarily agree to fund all of it, just some part of it. A decent chunk of it. Secondly, no. Turns out that when we went to that weird plane with the god who was a bit of a douchebag.
At this point, you're having to narrow it down a bit more, but yeah.
Sorry, the one we actually left the plane of existence.
Yeah.
To a different plane of existence. Not time we just went to like a different place on our plane and met a douchebag god.
The Festivus dream.
Yeah. It turns out that one of the things that I got there was quite valuable, and I was worried about having it. Look, like obviously I walk around with a magic item that I point to my eye in my eye socket all day long, but I figure that if I find, if a guard finds out or whatever, I can probably get away with it because it just lets me see. But this was quite a powerful item, quite a powerful scroll. So I did what any sensible person did, and I sold it.
Did you, by any chance, sell it to a lady at Gun Lowers?
Yeah. By the way, don't go there. She's bloody annoying.
Oh my god, that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. When Matey Boy was talking about it, it's the scroll I sold.
So probably not worth me going and buying it then.
Honestly, I think that. Look, I don't want to insult you, but I think it's a bit advanced for you. And even if it is, and I think it was probably advanced for almost every single wizard in the country. So, I think you could probably save up your money first.
It's nice to have aspirations, though. You've got to have somewhere to aim
Yeah,
for.
there you go. When you've got it, I'm sure it'll still be there because I know who she can sell it to. Not for the money she wants for it either. So I got a bit of cash, and let's be real, the what's it called? The record pays well enough. I would rather use my money to not end this plane of existence by summoning some untold beast from a book. Yeah, I'd rather do that than buy a new pair of boots. So
Well,
sorry, something that's just occurred to me. So this book has been, as you've been copying stuff, it's been threatening you,
yes.
but not in your head.
Nope, on the page.
So
It's done it before. It's not the first time.
So what? So this isn't the voices that you hear?
No. I've not heard those voices since we left the forest.
but do you know if this voice, this you don't know if it's the same source? It could be the same source, right?
Oh, absolutely could be, yeah.
Yeah, but you don't know if it
Absolutely
is or
could
not.
be.
Yeah.
It's not spoken to me. Unless I've missed it on the screen, Sam. It's not spoken to me since we left the forest.
Seems like, I mean, that was giving you painful nose bleeding headaches when you weren't doing what the voice wanted.
Yeah, I can't work out whether if being in the forest amplified it, maybe gave it more strength. Maybe we were closer to where it was, or I
The
don't know.
forest was messed up.
Yeah, there was something weird about that forest, but yeah.
Am I the only one that really wants to go back and find that Shadowface City?
Oh, I want to burn that place to the fucking ground.
Well, I want to go back as well, yeah, but I just also don't want to.
I also don't know if we
Right
can.
now.
Short of launching a fireball at the outside edge of that forest and hoping it breaks through those thorns, I'm not sure. The wall of
It's always a back
spiky
entrance.
branches is pretty clear. I think that we're not welcome.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So seriously, we're saying that you think we've got a book that contains a world-ending big bad, and the best person to keep hold of it is Z.
If you're over
Honestly,
giving the book too much credit,
Yeah, it might just contain like a minor evil thing, like an ancient dragon or a great worm or a lich or something.
honestly, I do think I'm not saying the best person in the plane of existence to have this book is Z. I'm saying that Z's the best person I know of right now. Because Z makes a good point. So we chatted about this the other night when I was helping them with copying out some bits and pieces of their book. this thing seems to be of incredible power. Not the book per se, but this being that seems to be attached to the book. We don't know if burning it, drowning it, banishing it to a different plane of existence is going to be good, or unleash this evil, or whatever this may be. And I do worry that it seemed to have turned weaker minds. Sorry, Leakin.
That's right. He's not here to defend himself.
It's not the same. It's not the same thing, is it? I don't think it's the same thing.
You don't know. That's the thing. We don't know anything.
That's
and
true.
if we don't know anything, we shouldn't do anything, right? You shouldn't act if you don't know.
Yeah, well, that's exactly my point. Literally Brex all over again.
Until we have more information, I don't think we can make a fair and justified decision about what to do with this.
Yeah. With respect, Z, I'm almost certain you're not the best person in the plane to deal with this.
I take no offense there. As soon as we find someone who we can tell, one, their intentions, and two, their strength, they're welcome to it.
I agree. I'm with Z here. 100%.
I will put up no fight there. Unless some more grand information comes to light about what actually is this book and it's some ancient god that's going to save the world from everything if we release it, then it's just like, yeah, there's no doubt there is someone better in this world for this book to go to eventually, that is not going to abuse it, that is going to know what to do. But it's I don't see them currently. Nobody else has any suggestions, therefore it stays with me.
Sounds that's decided.
That's my feeling. I agree.
Cool. Okay, so the plan is tomorrow you want to visit the morgue and try to get access to the body, and also check in on Nate's home and his whereabouts over the last week or so.
Yeah, and also maybe ask around a few friends and maybe the captain's wife and that kind of people as well.
Yep, cool.
See how much time we get.
And visit the bakery with the nice bread. Because we
Well,
haven't been there recently, when in Griffinsteel.
Indeed.
Yeah, eat some dwarven bread.
Nice dwarven bread. It is
illegal
the best.
dwarven bread.
Well, it makes it all the better, doesn't it?
It does. The secret ingredients crime.
Yeah. Love it.
Nice, cool. All right, that sounds like a good place to leave that session then.
Yeah, that was a good. That was a good
really
session.
good fun.
That was good. That was...
Yeah, sorry I had to dash in the middle there.
No, it's cool. Everything all right?
But yeah, it's all good.
Good.
Splendid.